Hi everyone, my name is Michelle, and to start my introduction video, I want to go all the way to the beginning. I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. I grew up in Raleigh, North Carolina, so a little bit of the South in me. And then ultimately we ended up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where I finished out my schooling. I only made it about 3 hours west of Philadelphia for my college years at Bucknell University, where I did my degree in animal behavior. They actually had monkeys for me to play with on campus, so it was very easy to choose the fun degree. But I also did a study abroad experience in Tanzania, East Africa, where I was every single day out in the field studying exotic animals, and I ended up doing my thesis on African elephants. I so fell in love with this culture and with this experience that the year after sophomore, I ended up going back to Tanzania to do a summer experience, learning how to scuba dive, as well as working on a research team to map out the coral reefs there. It was a turning point for me because I loved doing research with animals and I loved being abroad, and I knew as soon as I was able to, I was going to return to this. And so once I graduated, about a month later, I was on a flight to Sydney, Australia, where I started my master's degree in wildlife population management at the University of Sydney. In this degree, I was again hands-on with a lot of exotic animals, a lot of koalas, a lot of kangaroos, a lot of the Australian species, but also a lot of the courses introduced me and put me directly onto the Great Barrier Reef to work in the coral reefs there. And this is where I found my love for marine science, and I knew that I was going to continue in some aspect of my life doing this. I also worked at the Sydney Aquarium at the time, and we had events that introduce a lot of organizations and the research that they were doing. One of those was the Pacific Whale Foundation, which has its main home organization in Maui, Hawaii. After talking with them over several events, they contacted me and said that they would love for me to come and join their team over in Hawaii. And it was an opportunity that I couldn't let up. So I was, after 2 years in Sydney, Australia, on a flight over to Maui, Hawaii, where I spent another beautiful 2 years on this island studying the North Pacific population of humpback whales, as well as educating the public on a boat every single day. It was an amazing experience, and it allowed me to meet so many amazing scientists and researchers that were involved in marine science. One of which ended up starting an organization over in the Philippines, which was mapping the coral environment there, as well as teaching the local people about ways to practice management in the environment. She knew of my background and we were really good colleagues, and so she thought I'd be an asset for this team and asked me to come join her in the Philippines. It was another experience I couldn't say no to, and so again, I was on a flight over to the Philippines where I lived for about a year and a half on an island named Palawan and in a town named El Nido, which is deemed one of the most beautiful islands in the world. There, again, we were mapping out the coral reefs, but we also were focusing on waste management and working against dynamite fishing, which is a popular activity in this culture. Unfortunately, during that time, coronavirus hit, and the Philippines was not a sustainable place to be living during this chaotic time in the world. And so I returned to my roots. I returned back to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where I started working as a vet tech in a small animal clinic and getting back to the traditional animal and medicine route that I had started off with in the beginning. This is why I am doing my vet tech course and why I'm in this class, and it's going to create a foundation for me to move forward here in the States as I continue to work with animals. From this story, you can probably guess 3 words on your own that you would give to me, but my friends would describe me as adventurous because I'm always ready to have these amazing adventures and stories in my life. I'm very driven in almost every single project that I've been involved in. I've been very much at the front runner position and pulling through with these projects and really making them amazing and very, very passionate and very focused. I'm also known as being very open and flexible to kind of adapt to these cultures and enjoy things as I went along. And that kind of leads into this idea of whether the life changes were positive or negative. And the only answer I can say is positive, in the sense of everything is positive. If you are able to be open to these cultures and these experiences, you can only learn and you can only grow. And this is the strongest thing that I've found in all my experiences and in moving forward with who I was becoming and who I wanted to be in my career. During my time abroad, it was really hard, on the other hand, to stay close with family and to be right next to family and know exactly what family was doing. But I also found ways of letting them know what I was doing and keep connecting with them. This brought us closer together, I feel, in the end. And knowing that my family is the foundation, I became very close with my family, and they were able to share in these experiences with me and continue to do so. They came over to visit me, but also would hear about what I was doing on a daily basis and became a very strong part of who I am. Because of that, in my goals, I really want to focus on my career. I want to focus on being a great vet tech. I want to focus on learning new things all the time. But I also want to focus on having a good family and creating a good family and remembering the people around me. 10 years down the line, I'll be 37 years old, and so things will become a little bit more stable and more focused on one position and one point. So I hope at that point that I've experienced a lot of different things and I'm able to take all these experiences and pull them together to become who I am and do a job that I really enjoy and that I can really have challenge in, but also really have a passion in and really do amazing things. Whether that's being a vet tech or whether that's being a marine biologist or something in between, I don't know, but I really want to find a focus that can explore all of the different ways that I can help the world and help animal species and help the environment. For that reason, when I'm remembered, I want to be remembered as being very open, very dynamic, and I want to be remembered as being a great friend, an awesome wife, and a fantastic, amazing mother. I want to be really good to my family. I want to be remembered as someone who was there for my people. But I also want to be remembered for going out and trying to make my little difference in the world that I can. I know I ran through a lot of that really quickly and it's a lot of information. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. And I look forward to seeing you guys' videos as well. Ciao, ciao for now.